Alright, so we're going to go over sample questions for ProctorU test number 2 and starting from sheet number 1. And sheet number 1 representing students' grades in terms of homework, project, quizzes, exam 2. So those 5 items. And we're looking at column I. To find the total, we're going to use the sum, right? So that's the instruction. So we're going to use the sum. And you can type it in or highlight like I do. And of course, we're going to apply this function all the way down. Autofill. So that's your total using sum. But it's not done. According to the instruction, we want this number to be integer. Okay, we have 1 decimal places or other times 2 decimal places, but when you want to have a less number of decimal places or integer number, that's how you're going to use round function. Okay, so starting with round right in front of sum, and at the end comma, and 0 representing no decimal places, which means integer, right? So that's what we're going to do. Then I'm going to apply all the way down, same thing. All right, so I'm going to do pretty fast, so hopefully you can follow. And of course you need to do yourself, but you can always come back and rewind. Column J, do the same thing, but instead of doing average and putting round function later, but I'm going to start with round instead. Okay, so I'm going to do round, average, and of course across column D through H, and at the end comma and 0, because that's another integer that we're trying to find. Then autofill, right? So that's that. Column J. Column K, now we try to determine students' grades based on the total score. Okay, so depending on the structure of the grades, and we created this grade schema right here in lookup table worksheets. So starting from F, which is the lowest score, that's 250 lower, and 300 D, 350 C, 400 B, and above 450 you get A. So that's our grade structure. And based on this, we're going to use the VLOOKUP function. So here we go, equals VLOOKUP. And using total score, so I'm going to click that, comma. Then I'm going to go back to lookup table and highlight this area, which is the lookup table area, comma. Then I'm going to show which column number, meaning we have column 1, column 2. So we need to enter 2 so that the grade, actual grade, will be returned. And lastly, we're going to enter true, which is the approximate value that we're gonna looking for, because the choice is either true or false at the end according to the syntax of VLOOKUP. In this case, it's true, and other cases can be false. That case should be like a exact match between value and corresponding value. Because this lookup table, for example, to become A, there are so many other scores you can do, like 249, 244, whatever below 250 will be F. So that's what I mean by approximate value, can be multiple values. So that's why you enter true. In other cases, like one-to-one match, you're going to enter false. But anyway, for your convenience, I'm going to exactly show what you enter at the end. So you don't have to worry about either, one or the other. But anyway, so that's the hour function. But before I autofill, I'm going to enter dollar sign so that this BA1 to BB6 will have absolute cell reference, even though I'm going to copy all the way down, and that particular range will be same. Okay. If you don't have dollar sign, then you'll change it to A2 to B7 if you copy the next column and so forth. So to prevent that, you need to insert dollar sign, right? Which is absolute cell reference. Actually, there's a main thing, one of the most important item in module 3 in the textbook. All right, move on. Column L. So here we're gonna insert the rank function using average score. So using average, we're gonna rank individual students' score in order. So we're gonna use the J5 in this example against J2J, meaning that all students, right? So the student rank is 20 based on the average. Then I'm going to autofill all the way down. Or you could do like a J5 comma J5 to J40, right? You could do that, but I just did it J to J, so you don't have to worry about entering dollar sign and all that. All right. And make sure you insert your name in the header. That's another instruction for sheet 1. And moving on to sheet number 2. And this is for creating combo charts. And to create a combo chart, I actually pre-enter some of those calculations already. But you don't have to worry about the calculation formula for column B and C. The purpose of these columns are just creating some output so that we can use for combo chart. So you don't have to worry about the formulas. But all you have to do is follow the instruction. So it says column in cell A9, enter amount which is 300,000. Then next A10, increase this amount by 2,000. So I'm going to use A9 and add 2,000. And I'm going to keep on doing this all the way to A29. Okay, so now we have more data just created based on these formulas. And column B indicate monthly payment for 15 years. So this is case of $300,000. The monthly payment is that, and total cost will be this, meaning that's the loan amount plus interest amount. Okay, and then so forth. And depending on different amount, then your monthly payment total costs will be varied, right? So next item, step C for sheet number 2 is creating if function. This is a little bit tricky. I mean the question itself, because sometimes it's not, maybe it's not the formula, but the statement or the question itself is a little bit harder to understand the formula or function that you're trying to create. But probably this is one of them. What we're trying to do is we're trying to use the if function to compare monthly payment to total costs. Obviously, total cost is much higher, but we're trying to compare monthly payment to 1% of total costs. Okay, so if monthly payment is larger than 1% of total cost, then we're going to enter this formula, which indicates just difference between um, monthly payment and 1% of total cost. Otherwise, meaning that monthly payment is less than 1% of total cost, will show as within range. So that's kind of threshold that I just created. Whatever just 1% is higher than 1%, that's a lot too expensive, and lower than or equals to the 1%, that's the within range. So that's what this statement try to do. So anyway, so let's create the if function. If monthly payment is greater than 1% of C9, which is total cost, comma, if it is satisfied, we'll show the formula that we have it, which is B9 minus C9 of 1%. Otherwise, meaning P9 is less than or equals to 1% of total cost, will show as within range. So okay, notice that we have a double quotation within range because that's the text. So in Excel, in the formula, you need to show the text or words. You need to use double quotation. For the number or calculation, you don't have to enter any punctuations around. Okay. All right, here we go. So within range. So that's the first case. And what about other numbers? Well, all within range. I didn't try to make it intentionally, but this is just coincidence that the number monthly payment is simply too low. That's what it is. So you don't have to worry about it as long as you enter the correct if statement. All right, moving on. Median. The function median. So column B, the cell B30, we're going to enter median. That's, I think, pretty easy. All you have to do is just enter the median function for that, and that is taking care of the number that you're going to show. All right, then followed by combo chart. So to create a combo chart, the instruction says select A, cell A8 to C29, insert combo chart, but you need to insert this combo chart as a new worksheets. Right, so that's something you need to be careful. So go to insert, recommended chart, all chart, combo chart, and the instruction says monthly payment area chart. So monthly payment will be area chart. Loan amount, total cost will be line, and at the same time monthly payment column will be secondary axis, meaning that as you can see the right side you have another axis created. Okay, then I'm going to click OK, and again we're going to create this as a new worksheets. So either you can cut or paste, or I think easier way is just go to move chart right here in the toolbar, click new sheets and name it as combo chart, and there you go, that's your combo chart. Right, and we're going to do some editing afterwards. For example, chart style, you're going to apply chart style from here. So right here, chart style number 3, then chart title. So that's why you're going to change the chart title. Then we're going work on some vertical axis. For example, here, major unit of secondary vertical. This is what secondary vertical axis. So I'm going to just double click on it. Then you're going to see sometimes it'll show right away in different different panel. Then you go to this axis option panel, then it'll show up. Then if you want to change the minimum, just change the number, or maximum or major unit, you can change it. But the instruction says make it 50 in major. It's already 50, so we don't have to change. And then show now no decimals in primary vertical axis. If you see the primary vertical, which is this side, you have 2 decimal places, right? So let's just reduce it to 0, that number. So I'll go to number, then I'm going to click decimal places box and type 0. And that's that. Then one more thing, add axis title. We have 3 axes, right? This side, major vertical, secondary vertical, and horizontal. Okay, so to insert axis title, you go to chart element and look for axis title. It's right here, right? Click the right arrow so that you can select primary vertical and secondary vertical, according to the direction. Right, then just go and click that title box and type it in whatever the instruction says. Right here too. Alright, so and one more thing. Insert data labels in dollar amount to line data series. Here's the line data series. So we want to insert data label, meaning those numbers, okay, whatever the amount. How are we going to do that? Again, we go to chart element, look for data label right here, right? Then we're going to click data option, more option, so that you can select axis label options, show only value, and you can actually change that individually, okay? Individual data series. For example, you want to edit the position of data label below the line, right? Then this one, I'm going to click, and I'm going to show the value, this time above the line, or other times you don't want to show at all, then you can just cancel that data label. So you want to show only data labels to the line data series, as you can see. Actually, the font, the number fonts are too small, so it's hard to read. So you can adjust the font size, even too small, I guess. So that's how you're going to do it. Step G for sheets number 2. Let me check how long I have recorded. It's 19 minutes. Why don't I stop here so that I can continue with next, because I don't want to make it too long video at once. So I'm going to continue from sheets number 3. Okay.